Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So did I complete this intrinsic impedance? Did I complete this proof?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so this is done. Sigma plus J. And also we are done with this, right? Gamma is equal to J omega mu sigma plus J omega epsilon. So these two are finished, right? Hmm? These two are finished, right? Even gamma is equal to this. Yes or not? Yes or not, yeah? Did we complete this too?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, okay. So uh, we got eta is equal to Ex by Hy. And with this Ex by Hy, we obtained this. And let's see. So if you focus here, we took Maxwell's equation 2 of 2. You see, we took Maxwell's equation 2 of 2. So we have this equation. And so from this equation, we solved it. Okay, so we solved it, of course, and we got and we obtained this. Or you can take one of one, and means Maxwell's equations one of one, and you can solve it. Of course, we did all these things already. I will take from one of one. You take Maxwell's equation one of say two, not one of one, one of two. So you have this equation minus dou e y minus dou e y by dou z equal to minus j omega mu hx. So I know what is my ey. So ey is equal to ey naught e power minus gamma z. You differentiate this with respect to z. So you get minus gamma ey, all right, is equal to this. And now if you take ey by hx, now what did you get? If I take ey by hx, now you will have to take this negative sign also, right? You have negative sign here. See, for ex by hy, eta is equal to, we obtained this. Now eta equal to, we obtained same answer, same expression, but for minus ey by hx. Are you able to understand this?
Yes, sir.
So that's it. So means you have under Roman one you have two equations, one two that we saw already, and we took Roman two, and again we have two equations, one two. Now if you take two of two, or if you take one of one like this, you will get ex by hy for eta, and that is this. Now if I take one of two, if I take one of two or two of one, then we will get minus ey by hx for this square root. So in either case, so if I can combine these two and I can select this, eta is equal to ex by hy, that is equal to minus ey by hx is equal to j omega mu by sigma plus j omega epsilon. That's it. Now, what we will do, also you have gamma is equal to this j omega mu sigma plus j omega epsilon. Okay. So now what is gamma here? Gamma is, yes, propagation constant. So gamma is my propagation constant, and gamma is generally complex. This gamma is complex in general. So therefore I can write gamma is equal to something alpha plus j beta. Okay. Now what is this alpha here? Alpha is attenuation constant. Agree? Alpha is attenuation constant, and the units of alpha, generally you have units of alpha like Napier per meter. Generally the units for alpha is Napier per meter or decibel per meter we will take. And the units for beta, this is like you will understand these things. Alpha means Napier per meter, or you can take decibel per meter. You will understand these things. Beta is phase constant. What units will you have here? Phase constant. Units of what? Radian per what?
10 per meters.
Very good. Radian per meter. And if I take gamma, the units are per meter. Okay, units for gamma is per meter. Units of alpha Napier per meter or decibel per meter. Units, you will understand what Napier is per meter. So unit for beta is radian per meter. Gamma is per meter. I can write like this here. Per meter. Okay. So now what do? I just go this way. Anyways, and in this case, both alpha and beta, they are real. Gamma is complex, alpha and beta are real. So I have gamma like that. So let me rewrite. Gamma is equal to j omega mu multiplied by sigma plus j omega epsilon. So I can write this is alpha plus j beta is equal to squaring on both sides. Alpha plus j beta whole square is equal to j omega mu by sigma plus j omega epsilon. Okay, so this is alpha square minus beta square plus j2 alpha beta. So this what you get now? So this you get j omega mu sigma minus omega square mu epsilon. And what else we get? That's it, right? So we get like this. So just correct real parts. Alpha square minus beta square is minus omega square mu, and imaginary part 2 alpha beta is equal to omega mu sigma. Okay, so you have these two equations. You solve for these two equations, and now you will get this. Alpha is equal to omega mu epsilon by 2 multiplied by 1 plus loss tangent sigma by omega epsilon whole square, and I must take one more square root for this, and this is minus 1. Yeah, so alpha you get like this. You know what is beta? So beta is just similar to this. You take same thing, omega mu epsilon by 2, and you get 1 plus loss tangent whole square. This is loss tangent, so just take its square root. Now again further square root. Now this is minus 1, right? You will have to take plus 1. That's it. This minus becomes plus here. So, and you can make alpha and beta like this. So alpha, if you solve for alpha and beta, you will get this way. Yeah, you can remember this. If you want, you can solve, otherwise just remember this. Okay. See, we will study about this sigma by omega epsilon. This we call it as loss tangent. So when power is propagating in a medium, So what is the power loss in the dielectric medium with respect to the conducting medium? That's what we will see as loss tangent, that you'll understand. But loss tangent, we will take sigma by omega epsilon. This sigma by omega epsilon, whatever, actually what we do is wave is propagating, say, in dielectric, in conducting medium, say I have JC, propagating in dielectric medium, I have JD. So what is JC here? Can I say JC is equal to sigma E, conduction current density? And in phasor form, JD is equal to what? Generally, JD is equal to what? Dou D by dou T. So if I take phasor form, dou by dou T becomes J omega. D is equal to epsilon E. Okay. Now if I take the ratio JC by JD in its magnitude, now what you get sigma E by J omega epsilon E. You take its magnitude, and what you get? You get sigma by omega epsilon. Yes or not? Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So you will understand this why are we taking this ratio and all, but don't, but just for now just accept sigma by omega epsilon as loss tangent. Okay. So for example, you have what this side is, say, dielectric medium, and you have conducting medium. The power loss, maybe the power loss in this dielectric medium with respect to the power loss this in this conducting medium, and this situation we can explain using this ratio sigma by omega epsilon, so that we will see. Don't worry about what this last time that see, actually this what we will discuss. This we will say this is something like tan delta. This sigma omega epsilon is tan delta. That will see later. Don't worry. Just understand this ratio as loss tangent. See, what is the loss parameter here? The loss parameter is sigma, especially. Yes or not? Because for EM waves will suffer where in conducting medium. EM waves enjoy dielectric medium. So in conducting medium, sigma is very high. So when sigma is very high, loss is also very high. In dielectric medium, sigma is very, very low. When sigma is very, very low, losses are low. Yeah? So at least we'll understand with this. Associate sigma to loss. So therefore, uh, alpha and beta we obtain like this. See, just remember this form: omega square root of mu epsilon by 2, 1 plus loss tangent square under square root, and minus 1 whole square root. Same stuff, just plus 1. And we have uh, nothing more than this. Now, what we will do, I have alpha and beta. So let me copy this alpha and beta now. Don't copy this, I put it here. Mm, okay. Uh, so yeah, so now what you require. So I just take a medium. Let me take some medium. Okay. Now medium could be uh, lossless. This is ideal case. This is lossy. Yeah. So when it is lossy, again you have low loss medium, and again we can make it as, again we can take another case, that is high loss medium. Okay. Now you have loss tangent sigma by omega. You just tell me sigma by omega epsilon equal to what for lossless medium?
0, sir.
Very good. 0. So sigma by omega epsilon is 0 for lossless. 1 second. Okay, sorry. So last tangent, what is this? Last tangent sigma by omega epsilon equal to 0 for this, and this is a welcome node. I want this. This is really what really I'm looking for. Yeah. And when I come to low loss medium, and when I come to this low loss medium here, sigma by omega epsilon is far less than 1. When I go to high loss medium, sigma by omega epsilon is far greater than 1. Agreed? So you have like this. Okay. So now I know what is my eta. I know my eta is this. So intrinsic impedance. It is intrinsic impedance of the medium. Okay. Just don't confuse. Intrinsic impedance, that is eta, is given to us like j omega mu by sigma plus j omega epsilon. So already you know intrinsic impedance is just square root of epsilon. Sir, not? Already we proved this one, right? Already we proved this. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now that whatever you proved, that we proved for lossless medium. Because you see, now if it is lossless medium, now in this case, lossless means this one, that means sigma equal to 0. Now you put sigma equal to 0 here. Now what you get, eta equal to what? You get square root of mu by epsilon. That's it. When I go for low loss medium, if I go for low loss medium, see in case of low loss medium, now sigma by omega epsilon, this one, that means sigma is far less than omega epsilon. And you put it down here. You put it down here. When sigma is far less than omega epsilon, I can neglect sigma in this case. When I can neglect sigma, can I say eta is approximately equal to j omega mu by j omega epsilon? Yes or not? I can neglect when this is far less than omega epsilon, I can neglect this. So therefore, I am taking approximately equal to. So this says that eta is approximately equal to what? Square root of mu by epsilon. So both are okay. Lossless and low loss eta remains same almost. When come when we go to high loss medium, if I go to high loss medium, now what about sigma? Sigma is far greater than omega epsilon. From this we can say sigma is this. Now what happens to my eta? And now I cannot neglect sigma, right? So now I can say eta is approximately equal to j omega mu by what? So what I take here? What do I take
Sigma,
here?
sir.
Sigma, sir.
Sigma, correct. So under square root. Okay. So now what you get here? How can we simplify this? Can I write this one as n is equal to omega mu by sigma 45 degrees? Can I write like this? Can I write like this? Yes. N is equal to omega mu by sigma 45 degrees in high loss medium. I can write like this, right? Yeah, no second thought, I can write like this, not no problem. If you want to know that, you should know. I should not tell all these things. ZH. I can say, okay. You just tell me what is I power I? Sorry, what is I power 1? What is I power 1?
I
What is I square?
Minus 1.
minus 1
I cube?
minus
I power
1
4? Okay, I power 5?
I
I. Okay. So on. So on, what is I power I? Hmm? What is I power I? Anyone? What is I power I? Yes.
0.2078.
Great. How did you get that?
Calculator.
Oh, use can use calculator for that. Great. Okay. Mm. One second, please. Yeah. This is what? This is my channel. So I'm uploading some lectures. So I just stopped. I just started this 3 months ago, and I stopped means this 2 months ago, and again I will resume these things by this month, and again I'll start making videos, technical stuff, and all. Just where I have this. Is it only 0. Yeah. If it is only 0 point this, then I don't know whether. Yes, just a minute. I think net is running slow. See, actually, this I, whatever I you have, I can write I like this. Yes or not? E power I pi by 2. Agree? Agree?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
because e power I pi by 2
Yes.
means cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. All right, so cos pi by 2 means 0, I sin pi by 2 sin pi by 2 is 1. So therefore this becomes I, and it is I power I, e power I pi by 2 this. So now I can multiply these two. So I have e power I square. So I square is minus 1, so e power minus pi by 2. Now pi is 3.14, so e power minus 3.14 by 2 is this one, 0.207. And okay, anyways, this is also not required. Okay, see. Now, not only e power I pi by 2 is equal to I, e power I 5 pi by 2 is also I. You're getting this? So if I take e power I pi by 2 for I, then I can take I power I as e power I pi by 2 power I, and I get 0.2078 something, so on like that. But if I take e power I 5 pi by 2 for I, now what I get here in this case, I get e power negative 5 pi by 2. Yes or not? Yes or not? E power negative 5 pi by 2 I get. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Similarly, you get e power negative 9 pi by 2, so on. So therefore, the values, they change. So, 9 pi by 2 is 0.2078. 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 9 pi by 2 is Yeah, similarly, so on. Anyways, so you get not only 0.2078 something so on like that, also you have this, that means I power I is not a single real value, you will have set of real values. So just you keep on go like that. So finally I power I is this. Anyways, so you get this so on. Okay. Okay, so this is okay, not required again. Yeah, so if you want to know about all mathematical details, all engineering mathematical details, and all gate stuff, yeah, especially electromagnetic EM waves, ESS, DSP stuff, signal processing, DSP means, and space. I mean, yeah, so these things, if you want to excel these things, you can have, and also I just forgot to say Vedic mathematics. Then you can definitely subscribe if you want. Machine versus mathematics. Yeah. So you can subscribe and you can get things out of it. So whether subscribe or not doesn't matter. The thing is that if you want something interesting in this, definitely you can refer this. Okay. So, anyways, so I'll again start making lectures from 28th, like that. This month 28th. Waiting for laptop to come. Anyways, I have my laptop now, so I think I can start my lectures again on YouTube. So that means now for lossless, if I take a lossless and low loss, what is eta? Eta is equal to mu by epsilon. That means eta is a real value. Agree? So I have real. So as long as I have real impedance, there is no problem. But what happens in high loss case? In high loss medium, what is my eta here? What is my eta in high loss medium?
Root over J mu epsilon
Okay.
J mu
J
A
omega
omega
mu by
mu
sigma.
by sigma.
All right. That means this is nothing but omega mu by sigma, and I take it as here
45
45
degrees.
degrees. How? See, what I have there is square root of j. I can write this square root of j as e power j pi by 2. Agree? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. That means I can write e power j pi by 2 whole power 1 by 2. It's nothing but e power j pi by 4. All right. I can take this in polar form as what? 45 degrees. Right. So I have this is in polar form. I have both amplitude as well as angle in this case. Now, what is the meaning of this? The meaning is intrinsic impedance in high loss medium is not real. It's complex. So what is cos 45? Cos 45 plus j sin 45. Cos 45 is 1 over root 2. So therefore you get this plus you get j omega mu by 2 sigma. Agree? Yeah. So it is something like this. It is something like r plus jx. So you have both real as well as imaginary stuff. Otherwise, eta is complex. Now you know what is the meaning of this. There's 45 degree. So there is a phase difference of 45 degrees between E and H. Otherwise, E leads H by. So E leads H by 45 degrees in time. Are you able to understand this? Because what is eta here? Eta is in simple ratio of these two, right? Right or wrong?
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
so
sir.
therefore we can say in high loss medium means conductor medium. Yeah, in high loss, always EM waves suffer with this conducting medium. So in high loss medium, the intrinsic impedance of this high loss medium is complex, and in this high loss medium, E leads H always E leads H by 45 degrees in time. Okay, so this you have to again demo because it's very important in solving problems. And similarly, what you have is this. That is whatever we have done, just do the same thing for gamma. So I know alpha is equal to omega mu epsilon by 2. Yeah, again I take one more. So I have 1 plus last tangent square, and this is square root minus 1. Okay, you just make it proper, otherwise things will be gone. So 1 plus last tangent square under square root. Now this all stuff minus 1 again under square root. Okay, so similarly, what is my beta? So I have beta is equal to omega mu sec. This is very simple, right? For beta, just plus 1. So take 1 plus last tangent square under square root. Again, this is plus 1. Okay. Now again, I take three cases. First one is lossless medium. Yeah. In lossless medium, I know sigma by omega epsilon is equal to 0. This corresponds to sigma equal to 0. If I put sigma equal to 0 here, then what do I get? What do I get for alpha? Alpha equal to
0, sir.
0, because this is square root of 1 is 1, 1 minus 1 0, so alpha equal to 0. Then what about beta?
Omega root mu is
That's
root
it.
over.
You get sim because if it is 0, square root of 1 plus 1, square root of 2, the square root of 2 will cancel out. You have omega square root of mu epsilon. Okay, what is wave number we proved? See, we took k square is equal to what here? Omega square mu epsilon, right? Now what is k? K is equal to omega square root of mu epsilon. Now add this to same. Yeah, add this to same. They are same,
Yes, sir.
right? So phase constant, wave
Yes.
number, they are same in lossless medium. And that too, if you have TEM propagation, in lossless medium will always follow this. Phase constant, wave vector, both are same. So therefore, sometimes we take beta, sometimes we take k. So that's the intention, there's nothing else. Otherwise, we could say k is equal to beta in lossless medium for TEM propagation. For other propagations, TM or TE, these two cannot be same again. So anyways, that is not in our syllabus. So we will not do that now. You learn those things in third year. Mm. So this is for lossless medium. Now I go for next one, that is low loss medium. So when I go for low loss medium, now loss tangent is far less than 1. Okay. So now what do I do? How can I simplify this? Yes, I can't really make it 0 in this case. I can't means so I mean I can't make it so direct like this. Then what do I do? So now you just tell me, do you know about binomial, binomial expansion here? For example, I have something like this, 1 plus x whole power, say, n. If x is very small, if x is far less than 1, if this x is far less than 1, then I can go for simple binomial expansion, right? Yes or not? How do I write this? 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial x square. Yes or not? Do you know this?
Yes, sir.
N minus 2 by which factorial? Yeah. By what factorial we have here?
3 factor, yes, sir.
Very good. So 3 factorial so on into x cube plus so on, right? So things will go just like this. So I can give you some band C because I know that sigma by omega epsilon is far less than 1. And I have like this 1 plus sigma by omega, and this stuff is far less than 1. And of course, again, we are squaring it. That means this is, of course, this is far less than 1. Again, squaring it means still we will get further less than this quantity. So this satisfies this. If this satisfies this, I can go for C. That means you will have to get these thoughts. It- when we have to use certain expressions that you have to really understand. So I can help you out like this. So this is what 1 plus x power n. So what if I have 1 minus x power n? For example, you have 1 minus x power n. How do you expand this? You get 1 minus nx plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial x square minus plus so on. Yes or not? Alternative signs, minus plus so on in this case. Are you able to understand this? Are you able to understand
Yes,
these
sir.
things? Yeah, and also,
Yes, sir.
so these things, of course, you should know because this is already done in a maybe intermediate. You should not forget these things. And what if I take this case, one more case I'll take 1 minus x power minus n. See, the exponent is negative n. Now in this case, what happens here, and again, negative, negative. So all I get positive terms here. That means I get 1 plus nx. Now you know what happens here. I get n into n plus 1. N plus 1 by 2 factorial x square plus n into n plus 1 n plus 2 by 3 factorial x cube and so on. Agree? See, everywhere you will get
Yes, sir.
plus. If in the left side, everywhere you have negative, 1 minus an exponent is also negative, all you get positive terms on everywhere, including these coefficients. There is a blind rule. Whenever exponent is whenever exponent is negative, so always take in the coefficients all positive. That's it, nothing else. And what about these things? So this business depends upon the signs here. If you have same signs, it is all positive here. If it is ulta signs, see, if it is same signs, you have all positive. If it is reverse signs, you will have alternative. Okay, negative, positive, and so on. And what about one more case? One more case, what do I have? I have 1 minus 1 plus x power minus n. Then what do I get this? So what do we get here now? Hmm? Anyone? What do we get?
Alternate negative and
Yeah,
positive.
1 minus nx
Next,
plus what? Plus what here? Already I told here, right? Whenever you have negative exponent, always you take coefficients like this, positive, always. So you get n into n plus
n
1
plus 1 by 2
by 2 factorial x square.
into x.
Now this is minus plus again minus. Now again n into n plus 1 n plus 2 by 3 factorial x cube and so on. So whatever. Now what do you have? So you should know these things. should not tell everything, but
Now, what about JCKC? JCKC also.
so as this quantity is far less than 1, I can plug in here. Now what do I do? So let me okay, I'll take another color and I'll not use that, I'll use this. So just take this one first. Okay, so now this is what 1 plus sigma by omega epsilon whole square power 1 by 2. Okay, so you just compare with this. It is something like 1 plus x power 1 plus
This is the structure of it.
square brackets here. Yeah, n is equal to half. Just expand this now. So what you get if I expand this? I get 1 plus 1 plus nx, right? See, 1 plus x power n is equal to what? 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1 by 2 factorial x squared plus so on. Okay, so 1 n is equal to half, x equal to what now? Sigma by omega epsilon square plus n into n minus 1. So you get half minus half by 2 factorial x squared. So you get sigma by omega epsilon power 4. Agree? So on. Now you tell me, already this quantity is far less than 1 and you're taking further square. So you will get further far less than 1. So when compared to this component is very, very small, right? Yes or
Yes,
no?
sir. Yes,
This
sir.
is this is tiny. This is very, very small. So therefore, what I can do, I can straightforward, I can reject all these components hereafter, and I just take only these two components here. So the square root of 1 plus sigma by omega epsilon whole square, I can approximate this to the first two terms in expansion, 1 plus half this. So therefore, I'll plug in that here. So let me plug in that 1 plus half, 1 plus 1 by 2 this. Okay, where can I plug in? I'll plug in here.
So I guess we have covered almost 99% of your syllabus, 99 or 98 or whatever, more than 90%. So rest topics
So,
you would like to go
so alpha is equal to omega square root of mu epsilon by 2. And now this square root is this. And this internal square root became
thank you very much.
1 plus half. This is sigma by omega epsilon whole square. And this is, of course, half minus 1. So what happened to this? So it's gone. So alpha is equal to omega square root of mu epsilon by 2. Now what I get here? So I get again 1 by square root of 2 sigma by omega epsilon. Agree? So omega is cancelled out with this. And what you have now? Root 2 root 2. That means sigma by 2. And you have square root of mu epsilon by epsilon, means you get square root of mu by epsilon. Agree? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's it. So you know what you do. So you have to know this. In low loss medium, alpha equal to 0, beta equal to this. Sorry, in lossless medium. If you go to low loss medium, alpha is not really 0. Alpha is sigma by 2 multiplied by eta. Okay, so intrinsic impedance of that medium, because in low loss medium eta is equal to again this, right? So you can write alpha is equal to sigma by 2 multiplied by eta in low loss medium, or this one square root of mu by epsilon. So in the problem they will give like this. So based on the parameters you must be able to find alpha and beta. And what about beta? So let us remove all the mess. Let us remove all this mess now. To put it simple, this is a major one. So after this, you have pointing theorem here. If you complete that, we can solve problems then. Okay. And also, of course, you have skin depth. So, okay, in low loss medium, alpha is equal to sigma by 2 square root of mu by epsilon, alpha equal to this. What about beta? Anyone? Any smart candidate? So this is again, I can apply again. I can expand this using binomial expansion technique. So I get 1 plus half sigma by omega epsilon whole square. All right, and this becomes this. So of course I have plus 1. Now the old stuff is under square root. So you get what now? 2 plus half sigma by omega epsilon whole square under square root. Now what do you do in this case? In this case, what do you do? You can take this 2 common, right? Can I take 2 common here? I can take 2 common. So now you have 1 plus half sigma by omega epsilon whole square. Agree? Yes or not? This becomes
Yes,
1
sir.
by 4. Okay, this becomes 1 by 4. This one. So
Yes, sir.
further, what you can do, further, I can do this. Anyways, you're so lucky. I think you have objective type questions in the end exam, so you don't require to go for all the proofs and all, but it's only for understanding purpose. It's required to go all this way. So beta, if I go with this, now you tell me if I take it down like this, so this one, so this complete stuff is square root of 2. Now this is 1 plus 1 by 4 sigma by omega epsilon whole square, and this is 1 by 2. Agree? So when you have this, and now it is something like x. So you take this is something like x. It's again 1 plus x power n. Now 1 plus x power n, what you get now? So you get 1 plus nx. So 1 by 8 sigma by omega epsilon whole square. Agree? Plus so on. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now sigma by omega epsilon whole square. First of all, this is a very small quantity.
Well,
You are squaring it. Again, it is further small. This further small, you're dividing by 8. This is extremely small. So therefore, I can remove this from hereafter. Okay. Now the entire stuff, this entire weird stuff, it became now square root of 2 approximately. So therefore, so with this motivation, so this equal to becomes approximately equal to, you have omega mu epsilon by 2 multiplied by this entire stuff, you can approximate square root of 2. So this is done, gone, right? Now what is beta for low loss medium? Now you just tell me what is beta for low loss medium. What is beta for low loss medium?
omega into root over mu epsilon, sir. Approximately.
That's it. So beta approximately equal to omega square root of mu epsilon. So this is important. For lossless medium and low loss medium, beta remains same, and alpha is slightly varying with this. So this alpha is slightly varying with impedance of the medium, square root of mu by epsilon. I must take into account the sigma belongs to that particular medium. So low loss medium means it is not pure dielectric. Yeah. Also, you have some charged particles within that medium, and because of that, you have to take the sigma into account. Okay. So whenever these things happen, so definitely this fellow will appear. Square root of maybe epsilon will definitely appear somehow. So this is for low loss medium, and the last one is high loss medium. High loss medium is pretty straightforward, but I cannot solve for high loss medium. I cannot use binomial expansion. Why? Can I use binomial expansion for high loss medium? Anyone? Can I use to compute for alpha and beta? Can I use binomial expansion technique? Yes or not? No, right? Because you see, binomial expansion technique is good for this case. 1 plus x power n, provided this x must be far less than 1. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
You understand this. When x is not, when x, if it doesn't meet this condition, then what happens there? Series will never converge, right? Series will diverge. If x is far greater than
Yes.
1, series will definitely diverge. There is no meaning of expanding something like you have like multiple terms, or you have like polynomial expansion. So that is, there is no use in that. So of course, the same thing is true with Taylor series. Okay, coming to this particular series, this must be always less than 1, far less than 1, then only series will converge. Because if it is less than 1, x square is further less than a further small quantity, x cube is even small quantity, x power 4 is extremely small, and x power 5 is infinitesimally small, and so on. So therefore, you can expect this behavior, converging behavior. If x is far greater than 1, what happens? Series will diverge like this. Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so therefore, because in high loss medium, the loss tangent sigma omega epsilon is far greater than 1, so I really can't go for this binomial expansion in this case. So therefore I have to go for another approach to tackle down for alpha and beta. So that is as follows. You see, it's very simple. Uh, I take black. It's not going up. Uh, okay. So now I'll take high loss medium. I'll take it here. High loss medium. Now, any idea how do I do this? If I cannot expand this using binomial theorem, then how do I get for, I mean, how do we get expressions for alpha and beta now? See, there is something interesting here. Both equations or both expressions, they look same. The only difference is what here you have -1 and +1. But there is something really common in this. To account for attenuation constant, we are taking all medium parameters. You have mu, epsilon, and also sigma. Along with this, also you have propagation parameter omega. Agree? So we're using same parameters for beta as well. And if we just take +1 here, now what happens, this entire stuff will contribute for accumulation of phase, because beta is talking about phase constant, because when EM wave in its course of travel, it has to accumulate phase from point to point. So this will talk about that. So these medium parameters will talk about that accumulation of phase in its course of travel. And again, the same medium parameters in this fashion will talk about attenuation constant, attenuation otherwise in its course of travel, and if something is varying in space, and of course in time. Okay, so yes, high loss medium, then what to do? What do I do now? Any idea? Anything? So for this, I can't go this way. So let me go this way now. So I know gamma is equal to square root of this alpha plus j beta. So alpha plus j beta is equal to, I know gamma is this j omega mu multiplied by sigma plus j omega epsilon. Agree? Agree?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So alpha plus j beta is equal to, now what do I do? Let me take Let me take j omega mu. I'll take from this, I'll take sigma common. If I take sigma common from this, so I have sigma 1 plus j omega epsilon by sigma. But why are we taking sigma common there? Because in high loss medium, loss tangent is far greater than 1. Okay? That means sigma is far greater than omega epsilon. If sigma is far greater than omega epsilon, what ulta becomes what now? This becomes what here?
Far less than 1, sir.
Yeah, far less than 1. So therefore, if I compare with this one, I can reject this. I can neglect this one. So therefore, alpha plus j beta is equal to, what do I have? Approximately equal to j omega mu sigma. Agree? Agree. Okay. So j omega mu sigma. If that is j omega mu sigma, then you tell me what is alpha? Alpha plus j beta. I know square root of j means it is 45 degrees, right? So you have something like this, omega mu sigma under square root 45 degrees. So this is cos 45 plus j sine 45. So you get omega mu sigma by 2 plus j omega mu sigma by 2. Okay? Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So therefore, right. Okay. So therefore, what do I do? Therefore, finally, if it is high loss medium alpha is equal to beta is equal to omega mu sigma by 2. All right. So just remember these things. You know how to prove also, right? So alpha and beta remain same for high loss medium. See, alpha is a strong function of alpha and beta, both are strong functions of this sigma here. In this case, there is no sigma in beta, but this is okay. But in this case, alpha is severe because not only this, also you have omega multiplied by sigma. In high loss medium, sigma is very, very high. Okay, so therefore alpha is very high when compared to this alpha. All right, so just make a note of it. We will continue again in the afternoon. The afternoon session, I think I have. I just send you the link, so you can join me in the afternoon. Thank you.